Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach.
And Lucas.
It's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Rail Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to Space Letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh.
And Lucas.
Break clear of the fear on The Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Good morning, TFR.
Good morning.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day.
It's Friday, my dudes.
Thank God it's Friday.
And a TGIF to you all. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. We have Josh, Walt, Zach.
And Lucas.
And, of course, Lucas hanging out with you this morning. It's Friday, fellas. Damn. What am I here alone?
Fuck
Jesus.
yeah.
Check, Mike. Hello.
Like, fuck yeah, Friday.
Friday. I'm sorry, I'm having a rough morning. I started the coffee pot without the coffee cup underneath it.
I started the day without my brain. Good Lord. I don't know if coffee will even do it.
Awesome Austin is on the road to Flattoberfest.
Nice. Mellow-dome
mobile. Nice.
I seen he's got some shirts too he's bringing, and they look real good.
Oh, I'm buying me one for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Right now there are 61 people within my area. I've got to see already Critical Inception, nice. Alex.
Nice.
I've seen, who else? Joshua, Authentic Intent. Of course, just Jack. He's just right down the road. And David Weiss and his beautiful lady. And some guy he met with the Friend Finder. He was sitting in the hotel lobby, and the guy was like, sent him a message on the Friend Finder. He's like, Dave Weiss, I'd love to meet you. He's like, come on down. I'm sitting in the lobby. And then they hung out all day. He brought him over to the house and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah, Dave's got all the toys. He's got one of those one wheels. I tried it a little bit. I found out how old I am. My balance is not what it used to be.
Yeah, I keep threatening to get one of those, but I don't know how my insurance will cover that, so I probably won't.
This is going to be awesome. But yeah, the people are starting to funnel in. Today will be, I started it yesterday, because I usually have 51, so it jumped up about 10, but today I'm sure is going to be, raw, just lots and lots and lots. So yeah, just getting ready. I don't know why I'm real nervous this time. Just
because you have to give a speech. What's your speech on?
bunches of time. It's not even just a speech. It's just a like a presentation. People come walking up. I tell them what the Van de Graaff is, show them a little demonstration. I think we're going to do the button hanging by the balloons and watch it as you charge it. It goes down to the ground, like the tethering, electrostatic tethering. And then I hand them the gyroscope spun up and watch their faces just go, whoa, what is this? And we got the Tesla coil there, and then Cammie has gobs and gobs and gobs of stuff. She's got the monitor. We got a bunch of magnets laying out. There's she's doing the birefringence patterns that have to do. I'm having brain farts. It's early. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Just a lot of gizmos and gadgets and fun stuff for, children of all ages to play with. It's a good time.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, it does.
Real good.
No, boy, I didn't opt for the single mingle. I think that goes on tonight, though. And everybody will be meeting up at the billboard at 5:30 today to take pictures. I had an idea yesterday. Dave has a bunch of those Frisbees still that he had taken to the concert. The blue Frisbees. It's just a wire with a piece of...
They're like real small ones, aren't they? And he just like throws handfuls of them or something.
Yeah. Well, he brought a bunch of them. And when we take the picture, because they're blue, we're going to hold them up in front of our faces. And the picture on the bottom is the caption's going to say, I'm a blue dot too, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Yeah.
Behold the pale blue dots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Good times. So how was Tuesday's show? I apologize to everybody out there for missing it. I have no excuse. I saw like 2 a.m. I don't know. I just been having trouble sleeping.
We've sort of moved on from that show. Let's not bring it up.
So imagine, Zach, imagine a gigantic clock, right? In all of its glory and gears and mechanisms. And then just reach right into the center and pull out one of the most essential cogs in that clock and just throw it away and see how well that clock works. That's what Tuesday was like.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It was just kind of a weird day in general, coming off of a really weird weekend with some really weird energies. So the show itself was, I don't know that you would have done a whole lot to save that.
No, well, that's right. And I was sort of had my head in different sort of things rather than being on point. Not that I ever really am that much, but hey, sometimes I come across good stuff to share,
That's why we include as many people as we can here in hopes that maybe we can get at least a little bit of entertainment squeezed out of this show. Maybe some information. You just never can tell.
Just a smidgen. So yeah, Bob started working on his presentation like 2 days ago. This is unheard of. Usually
it's early for him,
right? Yeah, usually it's like night before, day of type stuff. I don't know how he does it. Well, I mean, he's got all the information up in his head. He's just got to, put it in order and this and that. I don't know where he keeps all that information. Oh, man. It's so funny listening to people talk. Because I'm with them all the time. We have these conversations daily. But people come over and it's like, God, it's like being in a science class over here. Especially when Cammie gets going. Because people who haven't seen all her stuff, she was born to be a teacher, I think. Really. She loves teaching people and showing them all this stuff. I do too, but I mean, she really, you can, as soon as somebody new comes over, she's like, oh, I gotta show you something. And then they're like, I don't understand it, but it's really neat to look at. Yeah, she was blowing. He was a gentleman. He came all the way from Ontario, I think, or Quebec. And Cammy was just playing with the Faraday effect with Polaroid lenses. And he was like, "That's witchcraft. You're a witch. Get out of here."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just, I don't know what it is this year. Something about it. My stomach, I don't know.
It's just the energy, the level of energy, the excitement. This one is like, it's been building. We've had a lot of craziness over the last couple of years, so it kind of makes it a little like, extra sweet to see the people that you love. So I'm there in heart, guys. If I'm not there in body, definitely sending my love and soul to you people. I can't wait to see how the weekend goes. I've already told Shell my weekend will be mostly YouTube and hopefully hopping on a Chatter 3 if anybody goes live. So,
well, yeah, Karen B will be streaming the whole thing here on YouTube.
I know Brian Stavely's been testing his mobile streaming capabilities as well. And of course, Awesome Austin's going to be up. There's going to be so many content creators that I'm sure.
I want to keep up. That's what I told her. I'll probably be sleeping on the couch watching YouTube most of the day. Off and on, just knocked out because I'll be up all night just like they will. Oh man. Shout out Nuka Cola. Good to see you, friend. Hope things are going good there. I know you had some craziness in your part of the world as well.
Yeah, brother. I'm glad to see you.
So how many people are going to this thing? You know the numbers or just gonna rock up?
No, I know there's over 200 tickets. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go count them right now.
Sweet.
I'm not sure. Yeah, give me about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Didn't expect all that this early in the morning.
But yeah, no, it's not a bad turnout. I know a lot of people were worried about them throwing traveling restrictions on at the last moment. So a lot of people said they're going to come buy their tickets at the door. Or they couldn't make it for both days, so they're just going to come to the door and buy a single day ticket.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, you'd think there'd be more than 200 show up.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah, I think it was closer to 4 last year, I think. I forget. I don't know. They're starting to all run together.
Well,
yeah, it's hard to...
26,758 is the current count there on the Friend Finder. So I can't help but think there's got to be more than a couple of hundred just fixing to go to Flattoberfest.
Yeah, I'm not 100% with the numbers. I know we were above 200 over a month ago, but I haven't asked Karen since then. I'm sure it's up there. Even if it was only 50, it'd be fun. Yeah, I guess the hotel is starting to fill up. People are showing up now. Oh, that's the one nice part about going away. I mean, the traveling is never fun anymore. Not like it used to be. And but being there at the hotel, like when I was in Denver or Dallas, that was awesome. That was just so cool. It's like the thing, well, the FEICs, Karen's doing it a lot smarter, in my opinion. I think Robbie just had so many presenters and he was trying to put so much all into those 2 days that there was too much. And by the time it was over, you were like exhausted and ready for bed at that time, but still stayed up till 3 a.m. hanging out with everybody at the bars and stuff. For this, there's a presenter and then there's a nice little break, then a presenter break, and it gets over, I think it's 6 or 7 p.m., which isn't bad, Then you have the whole evening. It's not getting over at 9 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night, I'll be able to get some sleep. Usually I get about 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I probably won't. It's usually about 3 hours of sleep. But then again, it doesn't start until like 10 or 11, where the FEICs were starting at 7 a.m. So you get to bed by 4, and then you got to be up at 7. Those are rough. But at the same time, you have so much energy that you don't want to sleep. As soon as your eyes open up and you hear that alarm, you're like, okay, let's go. My body's not going to enjoy this, in a couple days or tomorrow or whenever, but I don't care. I'm going now. Yeah, if you've never been to one, you really got to. Looking at you, gentlemen. Oh, I know.
I've got a good excuse. Until you make a Searle generator.
Yeah, I watched a documentary. It was in Russian, so it was all subtitles, an hour and 15 minutes long. I only made it about a half hour through before I had to go start doing something. But I don't think Searle invented that generator.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, 14-year-old having dreams, and I mean, I'm not saying it's a lie, but it sounds like a fairy tale to me.
Yeah, dealing with like squares of like mathematical squares and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, where this video is talking about a Nazi scientist who did it. Like in the 20s, the late 20s. He invented.
Is that like the Nazi bell thing? Is that, or was that something different?
I think
I
that was
remember they sort of had like a. Yeah, okay.
That's what they rang when it was time for Nazi dinner. They rang the Nazi bell, and all the little Nazis would come running to eat.
But yeah, this documentary, I'll drop it in chat. It talks about, the Nazi secret societies and how in the late 20s, the Nazis found some craft somewhere, some ancient technology, and then scoured the earth to try to find a way to help them rebuild this thing and understand it. And they went to the pyramids and everywhere, all around the world at ancient sites, and just took everything they could and got all of their information from these, these old tablets.
Everything from the Lost Ark to the Spear of Destiny. They was after it.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and he had the Spear of Destiny, actually. Hitler had the spear. It's crazy. But yeah, it's all about...
What was that cup that, Indiana Jones was after? Did they have that?
Well, the Ark. The Ark of the Cup.
Not the Ark.
No, not
it's
the
like
Ark.
The capacitor.
No, the Grail, the Holy Grail.
The Grail,
yeah. The Holy Grail, that's it.
Yeah, I've read years back, in the UFO research about all the hunt for the magical devices, magical historic devices. That was pretty much a thing. That was what they were doing, all that. Now, fast forward to, damn it, where was that? I saw it. I don't remember whose channel it was, but just talking about the devices that they found in the inner world. Damn it, I cannot remember. Apparently, these people were Tibetan explorers. They were trying to discover the inner world, Agartha, and the German government, I think the Russian government, the U.S. government, literally funded a trip to go to the inner world, and these people supposedly found all the things you hear about, and that was kind of what set off the Nazis on their adventures of looking for the rest of what was buried out there in the world and make sure they could get it before anybody else did. Sorry, I'm getting inundated with cats. Give me a second.
Yeah,
It should be recent enough in my history that I can find the link and drop it for you guys in chat. It was pretty amazing. I had never heard the story of these people, so it made me start digging a little bit into their history, and it's kind of hard to find out about them. Give me a second.
Yeah, in this documentary I watched, they mentioned a German secret society that was like the head of all the secret societies, like the top one. And I had never heard
Like
of
that
it.
Thule. Is it called the Thule Society or something?
They mentioned the Thule, but these people were atop the Thule Society. It was like the Annenberg or something like that. Annenberger Society. It had a real weird, I'd never heard it before. I'll have to watch it again now. But they
Probably
said
because it was in German.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a really, I mean, I hate the subtitles. I still haven't watched Pan's Labyrinth, even though so many people have told me to watch it because of the subtitles. But this one I just...
Oh, really?
I would highly advise you not to watch that movie.
Okay.
No, truly. One of the most disturbed moments of my entire life was watching Pan's Labyrinth. Fuck him for what he did to me in that movie. Fuck you, Del Toro.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But just, you know,
there was some couple of dark scenes in there, that's for sure.
Yeah, some fucked up scenes in there. And he was literally one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, ever. He did some of my favorite movies of all time, ever. And then that movie came out. I sat down with my mother and watched that fucking movie, and he did what he did to us all. And it was like, you MK Ultra terrorizing fuck. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that movie really is fucked up. Sorry. Walt rant over.
That would be a good walk rant.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was pretty brutal at the start. Yeah, when I first saw it. But I don't know. It was still all right.
To advertise a movie as an adult version of some kind of kid's fairy tale with some fantastical creatures in it, and then put what he put on the screen, knowing that there might be children in the audience, fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah, you're right. If children seen that, whoa, scarred for life for sure.
Hell, I was in my 40s and I'm scarred for life. What are you talking about, kids, dude? Fuck him. Fuck you, Del Toro. Sorry. Moving on. I still can't find the video.
There's another good one that people should watch is The Monkey King 2, and that has subtitles, but it's still a good watch.
Look, when I watched a movie called Green Street Hooligans once upon a time.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Really enjoyed it. Thought it was a really entertaining movie. Watched it a second time with the subtitles on. Whole different fucking story. Still a good movie. Still holds up. But I got so much more out of it when I could actually, understand what the hell they're saying.
Yeah, that had Frodo in it, didn't it?
It did have Frodo in it. Yes, indeed it did.
How do you do with the English, like from those types of accents, Lucas? Because you guys kind of have
the same as everyone else.
You guys kind of have a similar type of accent, but it's different.
You mean we mumble our words?
No, there's, the English accent that they have over in Britain. You can kind of hear it in Australian as well. The way Australians talk. Just a bit.
So do you guys have...
So it's easier for you to understand them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's easy to understand them, yeah.
Do you guys have localized dialects?
No, not really.
I didn't think so, which I thought was a little strange.
Yeah, for how big Australia is.
Mm-hmm. You could pluck anybody from any random spot in Australia, and you really couldn't tell them apart by a dialect, which as big as it is and as sparse as it is, I really would have thought things would have sort of compartmentalized at least a little bit in that way.
And why does some people have accents, you know, growing up in South Boston, and other people don't. It's the same thing like here down south. Some people have some serious twang in their voice to where it's hard for me to understand what they're saying. And they're speaking, you know, English.
Mostly.
Yeah, there might be a, get on out here, or something like that, you know, where they mix all the words together.
God bless you, boy.
They do get a little sling bladish sometimes in my experience. They just like to include strange noises mid-sentence. You just never know exactly. Onion's all going to be doing it this afternoon. But we only got about 30 seconds before we hit that break. And
no doubt.
On the other side, try to remind me if you can. I'll try to remember, but good luck with that. Just the mentality over at my wife's work is absolutely astounding me to the point that it almost leaves me speechless. She was regaling me with tales yet last night, and all I could do was look at her. I will fill you in on the other side right after these quick commercial breaks. This is the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Josh, Walt, Zach, and Lucas. We'll be right back. Stick around.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iAlife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iAlife.com, AYALife.com.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
For 5,000 years, the world was ruled with wooden ships by one man. 242 years ago, a small group of free men crafted a new nation built on liberty and freedom. Global elites have been fighting to destroy this new nation called America ever since. Based on actual events, Charm of Favor tells a true story of how they corrupted the election system. They infiltrated federal agencies and murdered witnesses, judges, and even presidents to keep from being caught. Now, the largest and wealthiest crime syndicate the world has ever known has been drawn out of the shadows. They have killed hundreds of Americans and recently attempted to assassinate half our congressmen. Still, they escape arrest through an almost supernatural charm of favor. Read Charm of Favor and be prepared to open your eyes to what may lie just around the corner. Charm of Favor is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
And welcome back. So, every time my wife comes home from work, it's almost basically regaling me with new nonsense from either coworkers or upper management. And really, since February, my wife was being treated like garbage, essentially, because she didn't just fall headlong into the propaganda being pushed out there on the television with the masks and the scare and the vax and all that stuff, and she wasn't willing to just go do it. So the CEO and the boss there in her office and everybody were just treating her poorly, very poorly, to the point that it sort of was pressuring her to go. And then CEO says, well, look, government's going to make it mandatory. We're going to be making it mandatory soon. And any of the holdouts just got basically discriminated against. And then...
bastards.
Yeah. To the point that my wife actually went and did both. But anyway, so they've got these masks now. So there's still several of these engineers there that just buy it completely. There's probably 2 or 3 of them that wear masks all day long in their cubicles by themselves, masked up. Some of them are immunocompromised, is what they're claiming, and have little signs up at their cubicles asking others, if you're going to come speak to me at my cubicle, I ask that you put a mask on as well. And that was sort of, again, part of these office rules that the CEO was setting up, was sort of the use of the masks. And then, okay, well, you don't have to be wearing the masks unless you really want to, but you can, if you're walking up to other people and interacting with others, then you should be wearing a mask. But now the CEO is like, I'm over these masks. These are such an inconvenience. I really don't like wearing mine. I don't like having to have one around, so if I have to put it on or take it off or whatever, I'm being very inconvenienced by these masks. So now, the rule that they're going to be implementing in my wife's office is that there will be no masks allowed. We're going back to the old school banking rules where nobody in the office will be allowed to wear a mask. The idea of leaving people the fuck alone just completely escapes this woman, the CEO of this company, new CEO, by the way, and says, well, if I can't force everybody to wear one, what I'm going to do is just force everybody to not. The idea that, well, if you want to wear one, you should be able to, and if you don't want to wear one, you should be able to not, somehow just completely evades this woman. And I don't understand the mentality either of someone who says the only way that people can function is if they get their directives directly from me. Or the people that say, I don't really know what to do, how to adult, unless somebody can tell me exactly what to do and how to do it. Give me signs that I can follow so that I just have to follow the signs. Don't make me think. Don't make me stand up for myself. Don't make me do any of this. Just tell me what to do and I'll go do it. Then, of course, we have the third group of people like us who just look at those other two types of people and, blink. Want to pat them on their head. Oh, bless your heart. Aren't you sweet? Aren't you special?
Bless your heart.
And again, I'm all for the freedom to do it. If you are so incapable of thinking for yourself that you think, you know what, I really do need someone to make these decisions for me, I probably will agree with you. I would support your ability to not make your own decisions if you aren't confident enough to make them yourself. I fully support you finding someone to make your decisions for you. Cool. But don't expect the guy that you've chosen to make your decisions for you to start making those same decisions for me. That's not how that works. And if you are the type of person that says, you know what, I am better than everybody else, and I am in a very specific position to rule over an entire population of people, then I say, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Josh, rant over.
I second that.
Sorry. I just couldn't believe it. When my wife came home and told me that, really left me speechless. I just looked at her like, what the hell is going on over there? And it dawned on me that this really is the mentality. And after having watched all these First Amendment audit videos, you'd think I would have realized that this really was the mentality of a majority of the general public.
It kind of, to me, speaks to the fact that no matter what type of cognitive warfare they put on us, no matter how fucking dumbed down they make the general populace, no matter what idiot fuckery they get folks to agree to and go along with, and not just agree to and go along with, but freaking ostracize those who won't agree to it and go along with it. So you've got that group of people. They are mind fucked. They can't think for themselves. They need someone to make those decisions for them. We need nanny government in here because, fuck, if I make a decision and it turns out to be the wrong decision, then I have to live with those thoughts in my head, and I can barely live with my daily thoughts. That's why I consume all this freaking media 24/7. So I certainly don't need extra thoughts about my decisions in my head. So I'm just going to zone out, let those guys think it through and make those decisions, and I'll follow along. Boom, that's me. I've made that. That's my choice or my non-choice or whatever you want to call it. So now, deep in the seat of your soul, the real you is rebelling against all that and beating the inside of that wall you built up against your fucking brain to be able to do this to yourself. That real human part of you is going, hey, idiot fuck, you can't let these idiots do that to you. And it sees you sitting there, Josh, going, fuck your fucking machine, fuck your scheme, fuck your bullshit. And do you not think that wouldn't infuriate them? That, hey, I was shutting myself down to follow along and not make any decisions. You better do it too, damn it. You better do it too. I don't know. It just seems like no matter what they do to us, inside we have to rebel against it in one way or another. There was a NATO report that came out, I'm not sure the date here, it's earlier last year, it looks like, and it was a report about cognitive warfare. Literally, it described a hybrid of biotech, nanotech, social engineering, information warfare, psychological operations, and total surveillance with a stated goal of harming brains of every civilian to impair cognition and disable critical thinking. And here we are. Nobody can think for themselves. But they don't want you thinking for yourself, for damn sure.
Well, I mean, I understand why they think the way they do. They were taught, fluoride is good for you. That's why you put it in your water, and they believe it. Without knowing that it's turning them into a zombie doing the fluoride shuffle every day. I mean, yeah, they've been attacking us for a long, long time. And it's not just with the fluoride. I mean, look at what happens if you go to a doctor's office. What's the first thing they want to do? Oh, you need some type of pill. You had a bad day yesterday? We'll put you on these anti-anxiety drugs that are loaded with fluoride. I don't know. It's hard to imagine that these doctors don't know what they're doing. I'm sure some of them don't. They're just, not that bright, maybe.
They probably take it themselves.
Yeah, exactly. But there's got to be doctors out there with brains that know what they're doing is wrong, but still do it for the paycheck. There has to be. I mean, if any of them done any research on the numbers, look at how bad the United States is at healthcare. We are horrible. I mean, infant mortality rate, we're like 27th or 28th in the world at keeping our babies alive. There's something wrong there. It's
something like, but you've got like something like 45% people that are overweight over there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like your food supply is probably one of the major issues, and I always get a kick out of it. I hear like, people saying, "Oh, we're going to cut down on salt, and salt's really bad for you," and things like that. It's like that's not what's giving you a heart attack and stuff. It's like you're eating salt on basically fried foods. It's crazy. It's the fats, people. If you that's all it is. It's the fats in the food.
So don't oversalt your 16 ounces of French fries from McDonald's because the salt is bad for you, is what you're saying?
It would probably be better to just drink.
Yeah, but if
oil.
you order them without salt, they're fresh made fries.
Yeah, you'd probably be better off just drinking a cup of vegetable oil and eating a few packets of table salt, just leaving the fry alone. Don't touch the fry. That's probably not even a real potato.
That's probably the best. You want to throw away those two and eat the chip,
the only part
potato.
Good for you anymore with the GMO potatoes now. Good Lord, weren't Mickey D's the first ones on board with the non-potato?
And who supplies all the potatoes for McDonald's?
Idaho.
Anybody know?
No.
Bill Gates.
Right.
Oh, you mean the largest farm owner?
That guy.
America?
Yep. He supplies all the French fries for McDonald's, his farms.
That's why I go to Five Guys.
But like when you're talking about fluoride and that, it's almost like the icing on the cake. the straw that broke the camel's back, you know what I mean? It's like after everything.
Yeah, and it's not like the information's hidden. That's the worst part about it. I mean, anybody can go research fluoride and its history and how the head of the American Cancer Society back in the 30s declared, hey, fluoride is one of the most cancer-causing, chemicals we can find. It causes cancer to human beings more than anything else we've ever found. 20 years later, hey, let's put this stuff in the water for people's health, for their teeth.
We certainly can't dump this stuff in the water. I mean in the the river, because think what it would do to the fish. Let's put it in the water supply instead. Oh,
Gosh,
we can get
fishing
paid for all of our waste products.
Fishing would be so much easier if all the fish were dumbed down.
Plus, once they got those really strong teeth wrapped around that hook, you would never lose it. You could just give it a good tug, sink it in, and reel them in. All those healthy-toothed fish out there.
Yeah, I've just really been staying away from the news for the last little while, so it's, because it was getting me down. It was just like, I've just got to accept that we're in idiocracy, that things are, completely retarded.
Scott Little Realm in chat has been saying it's a Idiocracy 2.0.
Yeah.
I think it was Voice said maybe it was 3D IRL Idiocracy.
Oh, Lord, what's going on with the sound?
I think that's Lucas again, if I had to guess.
Oh, is it? No good?
There was just a little scratching.
Yep.
Your beard getting too close to the mic?
No, I haven't done anything. So
maybe your mic's hanging too low.
It's no good.
He's clean shaven. Maybe he just needs to raise his mic up. Sorry.
But so did you see? Okay, in chat, put a 1 if you think that truck that Elon Musk designed is just the ugliest looking vehicle you've ever seen. Because I think that truck is horribly gaudy. They're starting production on it next year, supposedly.
Is
the
this
one where they
broke the window?
Yeah, the unbreakable window that just shattered the first throw.
Just checking.
And they were saying that it didn't have any side mirrors on it. So yeah, it's like, hey, those are there for a reason. Those aren't a design feature. It's not for looks. Like, it's the law. You kind of got to have rear view mirrors on the side of your car. So to get around it, Elon made it so you could take the mirrors off easily. So they wouldn't get in trouble. But if you wanted to take the mirror off and break the law, they made it nice and easy for you to do. Because it messes with the aesthetics of the truck. Really, I don't think you can make that truck any uglier, in my opinion at least.
Well, obviously the guy designing it on whatever CAD or something, he only knew how to use the ruler function. He didn't know how to, use a compass.
Put a curve in there, yeah.
Just fucking straight lines.
Wait, this one's a little off. That's all right. Just connect it somewhere else. That'll be fine.
But I'm sorry, that is just the ugliest truck I've ever seen.
How about this? How about the LEO edition with the blue line flag wrapped all the way around the truck?
Yeah, like I bet he was just really disappointed when he got to the wheels. He's like, "Fuck, do they have to be circles or is there any way to make them square?"
No curved lines, damn it, Elon. It's a wheel. We can't. You want us to re-engineer the wheel with no curves? I bet he asked for that.
I like
the
clean
Elon
lines.
Musk. Could we make the wheel straight, guys? Serious question, too. Serious question.
And he probably had his flame thrower, cocked, ready, just in case they said, "No, we can't do it."
Pointed right at their face. Hey, by the way, is there any way we could make those square?
Let's put a team on it.
We'll jump right into research and development, Elon. Great idea.
So they're already saying he's going to be the next trillionaire. Aren't there already trillionaires in other currencies?
Oh, probably.
What, Venezuela?
I mean, if you want to count sand as a currency, I suppose there's lots of people that are trillionaires.
Well, no, I mean, an actual nationalist currency. Because I know in some places it's like 500 won or whatever for a Tic Tac, a thing of Tic Tacs, stuff like that. I mean, some places the inflation has gone so crazy. So really, him becoming a trillionaire just shows how horribly our country is being run into the ground by these bankers. There never should have even been, I don't know. It's just showing inflation, really. I mean, an ounce of gold is still worth an ounce of gold. You can go buy a suit with that, a really nice hand-tailored suit with an ounce of gold. Back in 1920, you could buy a nice hand-tailored suit for an ounce of gold. But that ounce of gold was only worth $20. Or now the ounce of gold is, I don't even know what it is. Probably closer to $2,000.
Yeah, 1,800 or something, I think it is.
Yeah, but it still buys the same stuff. $1,900, yeah, you go get you a real nice suit for that ounce of gold.
Yeah, I think it actually buys you more, to tell you the truth. So it'd nearly buy you 2 suits, but, yeah. I was listening to, I listened to the financial news a fair bit, and, I think there's this huge inflation coming down the pike, especially because when you look at the sort of shortages in fertilizers for farms, and, that in itself is skyrocketing, and then it just takes a little while for that effect to come through. So, yep, I'd be ready for it when it comes. That's for sure.
Well, I know I read an article, and coming up here February next year in the United States, lots of pesticides that farmers use are being banned now. Which, sounds like a really good thing on front, but I'm looking for the sinister, what are they doing? They usually don't ever do stuff like this if it's going to be a good thing. So I'm wondering what they had in store.
Because those guys, they own those, companies. So for them to pull their own product, they're losing money. So they're obviously doing it for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So there's got to be something nefarious in the backs that I just haven't seen.
Genetically put all of that shit directly into the plant now, so there's really no need to spray it on, right?
And also waiting to see what happens with this
pesticides. So your crops will get demolished unless you use the Monsanto GMO Franken seeds.
Well, there seems to be a push right now for these fake solutions to non-problems. I saw they have outlawed gasoline engines for anything, basically, in California.
Lawnmowers. You can't mow your lawn.
Gas blower, leaf blower.
No, I think that's wrong.
Trimmer.
I think it's only the sale of new ones. I think you grandfather.
Well, no, they're not going to round them up, but yeah, anything going forward is going to be all electric. Oh, well, that's helping the future, right? Yeah, go look into where your electricity is coming from, dumb fucks.
And I bet they will be, because to get into California, you have to go through like a border crossing. It's crazy. I don't know if
they took shit out of a trailer full of a house that we were on, that I was driving. They pulled like huge pieces of furniture out of that truck to go look into it. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. As long as you guys are going to load this shit back up.
Yeah, it's an agricultural check. They're checking to see if you're trying to bring any invasive species into their state. It's weird. If you've never heard of it, yeah, you can check it out. When I went into California, like as soon as you cross the border, there's a little station there. And they didn't stop me, and I had my truck full of shit. I was camping, like walkabout camping. They probably looked at my truck and were like, fuck this. I don't want to check through others. I think really it's Hank. Hank got me out of everything. Border cross checks and all that kind of stuff. They see Hank, they're like, I'm not fucking with this. Because he's, he's a real sweetheart out of the truck, but you come to the truck when he's inside of it, and he's going to let you know he does not want you touching the truck. His hair is going to stand up, and he's going to be rah, 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 rah. Yeah. Yeah, Hank, he's awesome. And he's been such a good boy with all the guests and visitors.
Can I give a quick shout out, real quick, Zach?
Yes.
In chat, we have JG. And JG is someone with whom I've messaged from Dave's Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Clock Zodiac app. Sun, Moon, Zodiac Clock app. I don't, that one. The Fred Finder one. And I would really love to have her come on and share her story of coming to Flat Earth. She said it's a pretty unique one that she's not heard, which I'm always anxious to hear unique.
I had just highlighted that message and was going to mention it to you, so I'm glad you saw it. Shout out, JG. Welcome to the chat. Saying, JG also says, hey, I listen sometimes, but never live. Well, we're glad you made it up this early.
Yeah.
Appreciate you being here.
It is a little bit early out here where we are. And that brings us, wow. Look at that.
Hey, I want to address something Nuka brought up before last break, actually, and it kind of intrigued me. So if you guys don't mind, when we get back, we'll address Nuka's question.
Sounds good. Uncle Leko Duma, shout out to you. Our brother from another South African mother. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ella, and I'm 10 years old. I'm one of the millions of children born to parents suffering from the sheeple virus. Symptoms include the inability to think for oneself, the attention span of a goldfish, and a strong belief in government and the mainstream media. It is estimated that 1 out of every 2 children are being raised by parents infected with the sheeple virus. But there is a cure. For as little as 19 cents per day, you can become a TFR supporter and help children like me get their daily dose of truth. Together, we will make sure every child has protection from deception.
It's the Onion Radio News. A smoker is inspired by the sight of an elderly smoker. 25-year-old smoker Rod Jensen drew a bit of inspiration today from 83-year-old lifelong smoker Leo Menting after seeing the elderly man smoking a Marlboro at Carolyn's Corner Cafe. The 2-pack-a-day Jensen had this to say.
See, that guy over there's still kicking. I'm always hearing about the health risks of smoking and how it can kill you. But look at that old dude. He doesn't even have one of those holes in his throat.
A short while later, Jensen called the waitress over and added onion rings to his order after seeing the old man's wife, who looked to be about 80 herself, do the same. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com. As many as 40,000 deadbeat dads descended on Las Vegas today for a massive weekend-long show of non-support for their children. One of the dads, 42-year-old Mike Hicks, an unemployed truck mechanic from Los Angeles, began demonstrating the moment he and his friend Greg Schoner stepped off the so-called Freedom Bus.
No bitch John's gonna tell us who to feed and clothe.
Among the topics ignored by the group were fiscal responsibility, employment, and, of course, getting tough on deadbeat dad. A backyard barbecue hosted by London-based director Terry Gilliam was postponed again on Sunday due to a series of technical setbacks. The famed director of 12 Monkeys and the Fisher King says his planned event began to unravel after having a special 20-foot volcano-shaped gas grill flown in from Fiji.
It took 3 weeks to figure out how to light it, and then when I had the menu hammered out, Johnny Depp got sick, and I had to push the date back again.
Despite the continued delays, movie critic and party guest Elvis Mitchell still predicts the event will be visually stunning and lots of fun. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The wicked ones obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Exactly. Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The Earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
Wake up!
And welcome back to the second half of the Ironworx. Kicking off right now, Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com, simulcast across the plane via free stream here on YouTube, Odyssey D Live. Pretty sure we're on Facebook, pretty sure we're on Twitter. I'm not even sure if we're on Twitter. I know we're not on Twitch. The one or two people on Twitch weren't actual people. So, it's just one of those things.
We had robots?
Robots, believe it or not. Yeah, we fight for every last viewer we can get here on YouTube. It seems like.
I found our robot overlords, Josh. What do you think?
Well, we do have a couple people on D Live that like to bounce back and forth around D Live and Odyssey, and we do have viewers on other platforms, but
thank you guys.
We love y'all.
We definitely do. We appreciate it.
So I just found an article. I don't know why this wasn't sent to me. I usually send all the new space stuff, but it says this is from space.com. Meet Starlab, a private space station planned to fly in 2027. Planned.
Yeah.
Ding. The very first line. There could be a lot of commercial action in low Earth orbit later this decade. Earth orbit may be a hive of commercial activity a few years from now. NanoRacks, Voyager Space, and Lockheed Martin. I don't think I'd ever heard of NanoRacks or Voyager Space. They announced today, October 21st, that was yesterday, that they plan to get a free-flying private space station up and running in low Earth orbit by 2027. Can you guess the name? Did I say the name already? Still kind of sleeping.
Space Lab.
Close.
Oh.
Starlab.
Starlab, that's what it was. Damn it.
The outpost called Starlab is envisioned to be a tourist destination as well as a research and manufacturing hub that helps foster the growth of an off-Earth economy. To meet the U.S. government, International Space Agency, and commercial needs in space, these industry leaders will develop Starlab specifically to enable the growing space economy and meet pent-up customer demands for space services such as materials research, plant growth, and astronaut activity. Yeah, okay. So they're supposedly going to be sending something up to the International Space Station. They're sending one of these up here soon, it said.
Well,
Where did I read that?
I don't know. I thought they had asked NASA that just as a preliminary experiment that they thought it would be a good idea, a groundbreaking, revolutionary experiment if they were to grow some space lettuce.
Space lettuce.
Nom 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 nom.
You think they can do it? I mean, it is space.
Well, that's why I thought that's a really good question. Definitely worthy of a science experiment.
We'll let you guys know what we find out about it if it happens.
That'd
If they actually succeed in that attempt.
I'd be real curious what they can do in Starlab as far as growing plants. Lots of things to be learned about growing plants.
In space!
How many different types of lettuce have they grown up there now? It's like every 2-3 years they come out, hey, we grew
butternut, they got the spring mix, they've got the baby spinach, they've got, oh wait, I'm looking at never mind.
Selenova.
No.
Okay.
One. There's only one.
Space lettuce.
That's what kind they grow.
Space lettuce.
Every time they grow lettuce in space, that makes it.
Space lettuce.
Nom 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 nom.
And Lucas.
Oh, so I have a job for everybody out there.
Oh, thank God. Mine is a bore.
Well, you're not going to get paid for this one.
Oh, fuck. That ain't much of a job. That's just slave labor.
I'm looking for audio of Stephen Hawking speaking coherently. This guy was, a super phenom at like 8 years old. He started college at 14 or whatever and graduated in 2 years and, all this stuff. But they have no audio recordings of Stephen Hawking speaking words. They got a lot of him mumbling. I know your interpreter does a really good job sometimes. But sometimes, Stephen, I don't think you're actually saying what's coming out of his mouth. I really don't. I'm just saying. If you go back and watch the videos, I'll drop a video in chat here for you. Stephen goes, Stephen, go ahead. The translator would have turned that into like 40 words right there. And I'm just wondering how he understands you so well. It's mind-boggling to think that you can just go, and he can say, the stars and galaxies are rotating and spinning and twirling through the universe. It just doesn't add up to me, Stephen. I'm not calling you out or anything.
I think you are.
But, yeah. Well, hey, I didn't make the video, Stephen. All right, I'm sorry. It wasn't me. This was something that from the Stephen, all right, settle down. I wasn't even born yet, all right? I think we're just going to have to ask you to leave now. You're getting a little riled up. You're lucky we're not syndicated, because that type of language does not fly here, Stephen. We've asked you not to say stuff like that before. And no point in bringing up,
black holes. You shove it up your black hole, Stephen.
But yeah, I'll go find that article and drop it for you all in chat. I can't find anything of Stephen Hawking speaking actual words. And I don't know, that's just hard for me to believe. I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe if the real Stephen Hawking spoke too much truth. Maybe.
Well, the real Stephen Hawking, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up.
But yeah, I'm going to drop it in chat for y'all in the YouTube chat. I apologize to all the other platforms that we're on. Yeah. But yeah, it's in the YouTube chat. I'll even drop it in the Telegram. If you're in our Telegram thing, I'll go over there right now and drop it in there. But yeah, try to find Stephen Hawking speaking. You think that we would have, all kinds of stuff from him. I mean, he was a teacher. He taught. He gave lectures, right? Where is Stephen Hawking speaking?
That's funny.
Yeah. So it just seems to me like a big piss take, doesn't it, really, at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, and I never even tried to do this before yesterday. I thought for sure that there had to be something of him speaking, at some time. But no, he was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 21. And then went on to have 4 children after that with ALS. I don't know. But yeah, try to find Stephen Hawking speaking. I would love to be, found out that I'm wrong here. But I've searched all types of engines and stuff like that, and yeah, not a word. Not a coherent word I've ever heard come out of his mouth.
Lol.
Well, the worst part about eating your vegetables is manipulating the wheelchair.
That's horrible.
How else do you have 4 kids?
Oh. But yeah, I don't even know if Stephen Hawking existed. Like the real Stephen Hawking. Is that the real Stephen Hawking in the chair? I guarantee what's coming out of that translator's mouth is not what Stephen Hawking is thinking. He's probably sitting there like, I just shit my pants 20 minutes ago. You guys are sitting here smelling this. Someone fucking change me. Or he's saying, I'm not saying any of what this coming out of this guy's mouth. He's just making this shit up.
My name is Michael.
Yeah, something like that.
Stop calling me Steven. I don't know anything about space. My parents have helped take care of me my entire life. I've never left the house. Why are you doing this to me?
It's nearly the same story with Einstein, though, isn't it? Like, this genius sort of guy, and I don't know. They're just similar stories, Like when you get into the mud flood stuff, it's like the same narrative, just changed a little bit for a different building or whatever it is, but well, this one was built in a year, and then it lasted 9 years, and then it was burnt down to nothing, and they rebuilt it into this building, and it's just like you see the same sort of thing over and over again. So
what I love is those ones. It's like they took a year to build it. It was up for a couple years. Then something happened, a fire, whatever. It took them 23 years to renovate it and get it back up to, there's always that huge gap of them fixing what took a year to build, but it takes 8, 10, 15 years to fix what was broken or burnt or whatever. While I see it, shout out to Tommy, that flat fellow. Thank you for the super chat, sir. The much needed early morning sunglasses. If you guys missed the Flat Earth talent show just a few nights ago, it was great. I was there. I was laughing. Well, pissing myself literally. But thank you again, sir, for all you do.
Did you say literally?
Literally? No, not literally.
Oh, I could have sworn you said you were literally pissing yourself.
Well, in a British kind of way.
In a figurative type of way. Figuratively speaking, I was literally pissing myself.
Not in a Stephen Hawking's way.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was so funny I pissed myself, not I'm wheelchair bound and can't take care of myself, pissing myself type of way.
The other one that's like got that, the fake name or the encode is like Marie Curry. That was what did she find? Like radiation and those sort of things. They were all sort of rubbing shoulders together. And I've said this before, but you go back into this to look at some of these people that gave us our, so-called modern science, and they're basically all friends with each other, part of the Royal Society or whatever other group. But generally it seems to be the Royal Society that's where a lot of this stuff comes from. And the guy that, invented the electron, or got a Nobel Prize for the electron, he stood up and said at the end of it, let the electron be of no use to anyone. So those were his words.
Yeah, that tells you right there how much stock he put into it. Just like Newton and his gravity. There was a reason he didn't publish any of that. He even says... Yeah. Newton himself even starts it off with the word, whole book starts off with the word if. So he's, I don't know. I think if Newton was even a real person, this and that, I don't know if these guys were bad people or if they just took what he wrote and then turned it all on its head.
Yeah, well, that's what I would think. Either they just characterized him afterwards, took what he wrote and left bits out and added bits, just manipulated it a bit. Because, we know that in the end, these people that run the show, they're not very creative at the best of times. And so, they can take someone else's work and then sort of play around with it a bit and give you a just so story,
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if the man even existed, I have trouble believing anything before 1979 anymore.
1979?
Yeah, that's when I was born. I don't even know if there was life before 1979.
Yeah, that's good.
And how did you verify that it was 1979?
Exactly. It might not have been.
Yeah. It was 979. It was the I at the start of it, man.
The I.
It was 73. He just wanted to be younger than he really is. He's not telling us the truth about how old he is. 79 is crap.
I was born in 42 BC. I used to tell people that when I was in my 20s. They'd ask me how old I was. 2038. They're like, what?
I was raised by the ancient ones.
Oh, man. It's early. Still no sign of the sun. Got kind of cloudy yesterday. We're hoping that it clears up so we can break out the infrared camera and look at the sky this afternoon. We're just going to take some toys to the... everybody's meeting up at 5:30. If you didn't know, 5:30 at the billboard. It is 200 East Henry Street. It's just a couple blocks away from the convention center. Let me see if I can find that address. I'll drop it there in chat for everybody. Oh, I don't know where. Yeah, I know where I can find it. But yeah, it's going to be fun. David will have the drone out and everything. Cammie's going to be bringing her, what is that, unicycle? It still blows me away how good she is at that thing. She's like, it's just like riding a bike.
Minus a wheel. So we've got about 7 minutes. I was scrolling through, and there was an interesting video that caught my eye that I thought, let me go ahead and take a listen to this and see what this is all about. So the title of it is called Dark Matter Isn't Dark. It's Invisible. And this is from a channel called The Science Asylum. Now, it is pretty rare that I would click on one of these videos, but it's dark matter. We've got that awesome intro that Walt did. So I'm always kind of curious just to see what kind of nonsense these people want to talk about when it comes to talking about the nonsense of dark matter. And let's see if we can't make this happen.
This particle, make it the opposite charge, turn it the other way, but it's not the antiparticle, it's the other antiparticle, right? It's this other one, but then you gotta take it, flip it around, shove it in a hole, right? And then we have a cute little acronym that we call it, right?
So this channel, I guess, is this guy and his wife.
Welcome to another installment of Wife Reacts.
There we
This
go.
is my wife, Awkward M.
Hello.
Today, I'm going to be explaining dark matter to her. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so first off, I guess, what exactly do you know about dark matter? Just so we can get a baseline here.
It doesn't emit light. There's a lot of it.
Yes.
I know that Vera Rubin was an important lady. I think that's it.
That's about it. Okay. But before I get into this, because I know there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to mention this in the comments, you know who you are. It is entirely possible that we don't understand gravity as well as we think we do.
Now that's as far as I made it into this video. Who do you think that bunch of people in the comments, do you think he was talking about?
I'm guessing some guys we might know.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, I bet they don't believe in the globe model. That's for sure.
Man, it's kind of clear.
Sorry, so let me just click on this. 413,000 subscribers there at the Science Asylum. So that really makes me smile that they've even got we are at the point where they have to caveat basically any video they do by saying, all right, look. Now, before all you flat earthers jump into the comments and start belittling us and berating us about the things that we really don't know about, because we don't know about what gravity is. Let me just say that right now, which I think is fabulous. I think if everybody could put that caveat at the beginning of their videos, that would save a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of trouble on trying to explain to us what gravity is.
So, yeah, there's definitely a shift happening for sure. They can't get away with just saying this stuff anymore like it's fact, because there's going to be flat earthers there saying, hey, you're lying. Yeah, it's awesome. Flat Earth's dying though, right?
Right.
There
Doubt
are
it.
flat earthers.
Even more dead than it was back in 2016 when they told me it was dying.
Flat Earth's like Bitcoin, just keeps going.
Yeah, it's a nice part about the truth. You don't, even though we do, you don't have to defend it anymore now that the truth is out. I mean, they're not putting this genie back in the bottle. By word of mouth alone, they can't put this genie back in the bottle. They could change everybody's, focus, things like that. But this truth is out there now. It's among the people. It's no longer just on the internet. It's not a cyber thing. It's not, this is in real life now. People are talking about this everywhere. And yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think David was right that a lot of this COVID stuff and all this stuff going on has to do with this truth coming out in such a way. they've done everything they could to throw monkey wrenches in it and stop it from spreading, but it seems like the more they try, the more it spreads. It's a great saying, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Lions don't need defending. You just have to set it free. It'll defend itself.
And I'll be damned if that doesn't lead us to about 60 seconds to the end of this segment.
I was just going to say, it's a great time to be alive, folks. As crazy as the world is around you all the time, and, you know, all these signs and things they want you to look at to take your attention, the world is still a beautiful place. Right out in your backyard, you can go find the beauty of nature. And now with the truth coming in, that's just going to point that many more people to their backyards to go take a look at the actual world around them. So we are winning. We are. I know it doesn't seem like it sometimes, and things seem dire, but this place is changing. The realm is shifting.
Oh yeah, 100%. And their plan just plain sucks. Let's face it. You know, it's just lame. It's like, yeah, I know a lot of people falling for it. At the end of the day, you guys just, you know, this is me to the elite. You know, you just wankers.
Now, I'm pretty sure we listened to a song, I Won't Comply, by a fellow named Blind Joe. Did we listen to that on the air? Or was that like an off-the-air thing? Was that me dreaming it?
No, we listened. It was on the air.
Was it on the air? Was that last week we did that? Or was that Tuesday or something? I was gonna say, that sounds really familiar. So I'm talking about Blind Joe there in chat. And what a great song that is. And it really is an awesome song. Stick around. We have fourth and final segment of the Ironworx coming up right after these messages right here on the Ironworx.
Extendivite is more than just a heart tonic. Do you have any of these symptoms? Night cramps in the hands and feet. Your arms and legs often go to sleep. On short walks, do your legs get aches and pains? Is your memory worse than it used to be? Ankles that swell late in the day? Has your blood pressure increased lately? If you answered yes to even one of these questions, you may have early warning signs of arterial blockages. Your body is saying that it is time to take Extendivite. These are not the normal signs of aging. They are the warning signs that accompany blocked arteries. Get your Extendivite today. Extendivite is available in capsule or liquid form for just $69.95 for a 2-month supply. To get started, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we help you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find us on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER to get $10 off your first box. As a special bonus, we will include our #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. Whatever your diet plans are, start with us at faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER.
For millennia, mankind has been searching for answers to the big questions, such as, where did the universe come from? Where did we come from? Why are we here? Are we alone? And just what the heck is the Sasquatch all about? I can't promise you answers, and neither can the Woo Crew, but they invite you to join them Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, midnight in the UK, for Freaky Friday, exclusively on Truth Frequency Radio. Spirituality, multiverse, quantum mechanics, the occult, and so much conspiracy analysis that it will make your mind melt. Take my word for it. Freaky Friday, It's more than a show. It's a way of life. I am Stephen Hawking, and I am proud to be a Wookiee.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Time to make the donuts.
Yes, coffee, the nectar of the gods. Welcome back to the Ironworx, fourth and final segment, kicking off right now. This show's gone by pretty damn quick. Seems like it's just flown by.
I'm not buying that being Stephen Hawking while ago. I'm just saying. So early on, Nuka was here, and he asked a question of the chat. Had anyone viewed any of the little videos kind of breaking down different magicians' routines? In like this implication being that what is being performed there on these little magical specials and different talent type shows and things like that are actually demon driven possession type magic. As a young, like 6, I think, I read the first Houdini thing after I'd watched a great movie about him growing up and became obsessed with Houdini. Wrote it, like from that point on, every year book reports were going to be about Houdini, a biography one. And that led me to digging into how he did what he did. And his thing, you know, being known more for his escapes than anything else, he had a very advanced sleight of hand routine, card routine. I mean, he was the classic magician all the way across the board. And if you dug in libraries back in the 70s, you could find these books by people whose names escape me now. But these are the guys who created some of the routines that are now being done still to this day, hundreds of years later. Different variations, adding new spin to some old tricks. Some magicians take these old tricks and spin them, and Penn and Teller is really known for taking a trick apart in front of you and then actually fooling you by showing you how the trick is done in front of you, that kind of thing. So anyway, long story short, I learned about the tricks early on and started practicing them. Got a lot of magic kits as a kid, lots of sets of cards, both trick and real. Started trying to figure out how to manipulate cards with really short, stubby fingers that really suck at palming. And fast forward to my 20s, I became a blackjack dealer. And now I had always played with cards, played with little tricks, learned little stuff to do in front of kids. Man, I'd love to blow a child's mind with a trick, pull something out of their ear or tear a napkin apart. Just usually I have something prepped when I know I'm going to have myself around some kids. And that's the secret to most magic, is most people who style themselves as magicians literally walk around loaded. They wake up and load themselves with a variety of things. Invisible filament, various things in various secreted areas. And I'm not even going to try to give any of this away because that's part of being a magician is you don't reveal the secrets. Card mechanics is an art beyond measure. There's a guy out there, Ricky J. He was in a few movies, but if you go watch this thing, Ricky J and his 52 assistants, just sit down, buckle up, make sure it's a good version because there's some really bad copies out there, and just hold on because what this man does with a set of 52 cards is it's magic. It is freaking like, okay, that's impossible to do. There's no way for a human being to do that with a set of cards, but he can, and he does. And he's one of those who does the history, and he gets into the guys.
That's amazing.
What exactly? So,
real quick, Watt. I just want to explain like what he can do. He can take a brand new deck of cards and then shuffle it 4 times and tell you what card is everywhere. The whole deck. He could go through and say, now this one will be this.
Where every
this
card
one will
is.
be
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
It's nuts to keep up with 52 cards and knowing where they are at all times and being able to figure out and get them where you want to and just, yeah. Now, there are other people out there. There was a big time when David Blaine was big. I know he's kind of wore out his welcome, but when I saw his first special, it was great that there was magic back on TV because for a while there, it had gotten to this whole, real hand to hand, like close up, doing it in front of people magic, not big stage Copperfield type set pieces that really reek of, just kind of cheese. So that being said, like I'm saying, there's a trick to every trick, and that's what it's all about. Nuka had actually dropped a video in the chat, and I kind of flipped through some of the things they were breaking apart, and I immediately saw 100 tricks I know like that, how to break glass without touching it. Just there's lots of tricks that, and then you see it on television. It's been edited completely. Oh, it's live. Yeah, okay. How many seconds delay are we on? So, and if it's been pre-recorded, forget it. Any of those like David Blaine specials, him levitating, that was all camera tricks. That's what it was. Well, no, I saw it live happen on the street. No, you didn't. You saw camera editing. Anyway, would there be darkness involved in anything on TV or in movies? Well, that would be a shock, right? So that's the double side of this whole thing. While most of what you're seeing, and I would think just about all of what you're seeing presented as tricks on TV are just that. They're tricks. The real creepy, crazy shit is the stuff that you see when you're not supposed to see it. And we really probably don't need to get into all that on a radio program because you would need to see some of those things. But most of what I've looked at on these videos that are like breaking apart these demon magicians are just tricks that I already know the secrets to from a young age, or kept up with it and learned them as new tricks came out. And I don't want to reveal. That's the thing. I don't want to go, oh, well, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. I hated that dude that came out with the masked magician that came out with those specials back on NBC.
The Amazing Randy.
Showing all those tricks. Well, he was more of a he was like Houdini in trying to expose a lot of fake spiritualism and fake seances and fake. Dude, he was infamous for breaking Uri Geller's nutsack. Oh, sorry. For just destroying that dude's crap. I'm bending spoons with my mind. Dude, I know how to bend a spoon with my mind. It's been a while and it takes some practice. And yeah, it's easy to do.
Shows, if you just watch the guy, he bends the spoon in front of you. He's holding in his hand and he bends it right there in front of you.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's just all about how you manipulate and misdirect.
Mm-hmm.
But he hid quite a secret life as well. If you haven't seen the story of his life, it's pretty amazing. But yeah, there are definitely some fucked up things going on behind the scenes. We all know that. There are some dark dudes. I early on really liked Penn and Teller. Now I despise those guys. So, just for what they started standing for, the little bullshit show, whatever. Anyway, and we all know what most MSM demonic fucks are about anyway. So, but yeah, the idea of them just boldly doing things in front of folks, boldly and going like, yeah, here's real. I mean, that Shin, what was his name? The guy that won the talent show. See, I don't keep up with any of this really that much to know the names, but he was really good with card manipulation. He could move pips on a freaking playing card in front of you. And that broke my brain. So I had to find out how to do that. And so I dug and dug and dug until I figured out how he did it. So, I mean, there's always a way. There's always a way.
And I think that's probably what a lot of these magic reveal shows are all about. It's more misdirection. We take some real basic tricks and we're going to show you how these are done. Things that really most any magician knows, and why you're not supposed to reveal tricks. You can, go to any local library and find a child's magic book and get a basic premise of how a lot of these tricks are done. But then we're going to take a couple of these tricks, right? And some magician may put their own personal spin or find out a different mechanism of achieving the same result. And that's the one you say, but what we can't figure out is how magicians are doing this trick. And of course you know how some magicians are doing it or how other magicians are doing it. But what you're doing is you're promoting a magician who has a whole new spin. So that magician puts out a show called The Masked Magician, and it's going to promote all of these tricks that they don't know how these magicians are doing it. And they are going to, again, it's just like so many things. We have all these lies with a little bit of truth to make you believe it. But then we're just going to throw the lie right there in your face, and you're going to buy this whole false narrative, hook, line, and sinker, because of that little bit of truth that we gave you. And it's all just to promote somebody else's magic. Would be my guess. I have no idea. My uncle was actually a magician, relatively successful, I suppose, out there in L.A. making the rounds. Once upon a time, he was a bit of an inventor too. If you've ever seen the chain link license plate frames, he was the first person to actually try to get a patent for that. Once upon a time, back in the late 80s or maybe early 80s, late 70s, they used to have, when TVs started to go small, they wanted to figure out a way to get them sort of out of the way. So they had this big tension pole with a fork on it, and you could increase the tension and put it in the corner of the room, and you'd set the TV up there on the fork. And apparently my uncle was also the inventor and the patent holder of that tension rod with the fork that you would set the TV on back in the day. But yeah, he was a working magician out there in Southern California doing his thing. Magic Jack Corey. He was like the half brother of all the other Corey boys, were my dad and my uncles from my grandfather's first marriage, I guess. So yeah, really interesting. Really interesting. I see Dave Weiss there in chat. I'm really looking forward to the group messaging coming up in the app updates. Dave, in chat, we have JG, who is a neighbor of mine, lives just down the road. Probably, literally, I could probably walk and see her before the show was finished if I knew where she lived. But yeah, contacted me on your app. They're on the Friend Finder app, and we exchanged a few messages, and now here she is being able to catch a show live. Apparently she'd seen us a few times at least after the fact, but now we've spoken via your app, and she's able to come join us live this morning. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, JG. We do appreciate it. And yeah, this is just good stuff all around. I'm so excited for you, Dave, and Zach, and everybody there getting able to meet up together there for the Flattoberfest.
No doubt.
Yeah, it really is exciting. I really wish I could have been a part of it, but being able to at least vicariously live it through you guys is good too. So thank you.
And Dave looks like he's dropping a fix, currently working it up there and uploading it to the App Store for some issues with Apple. users of the app. So thank you again, sir, for what you do
Yeah,
and all you've done and what you do. Good morning, Tom.
They were having trouble with the Friend Finder app for the iPhone. It just wasn't opening the map. And it sounds like they got it situated. They're testing it now and getting ready to upload the update.
Turns out, what you have to do is say map. And then that's when the map will pop out and sing his little song. I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map. And then you're good to go. But that's Apple. I'm a Google guy, so it's whatever. I'm not a Google guy. I'm an Android guy.
63 people in the Spartanburg area right now. It's usually around 36 to 38, somewhere around there. So yeah, I'm expecting today, I'm going to do it like every couple hours today and just watch the dots migrate this way. Yeah, exciting. We're at 26,766 blue dots. So if you're in the Spartanburg area early and you'd like to come hang out at 530 200 East Henry Street, there's a billboard, a Flat Earth billboard. We're all going to meet up there in the parking lot and take pictures and, just congregate for a little bit, and then probably all go off somewhere else and do something else, I'm sure. But yeah, it's this is going to be fun. I don't know how Dave does it. I hope he got his little power nap in last night he was planning for. See, I always say I'm going to do the 20-minute power nap, but then it turns into like a 2-hour nice nap. I got to learn to not hit just turn the stupid alarm off. Don't worry about it. I got to quit doing that.
Set it across the room.
Yeah, I need to. Usually when I take my nap, though, I don't. When I go to sleep and I got to get up for the show, I always do. Or when I go to sleep, period.
That's the trouble with my brain. It's like always running background processes, even when I'm sleeping. So as soon as my eyes open, it's like they open to those open running background processes, and it just kind of wakes up and kicks back on, just like my computer does. It's like, oh, okay, we're awake. Let's pick right back up where we left off and keep on going. So it's occasionally I oversleep. Pretty rare I sleep through an alarm. Usually is me having turned it off for some weird reason. But yeah. Once my eyes open, I'm like awake. Or at least there's that part of my brain that's running background processes that's saying, you should be out of bed right now. Clock's ticking, fella. Your alarm went off and you're still here. What are you doing? But then I sort of lose track of time and I don't realize how much time has passed. And where I think those thoughts just come relatively quickly. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. I should get out of bed because that's only like 45 seconds worth of thoughts. Nope, that's been about 20 minutes has passed for me to think those thoughts. And now I'm running behind and late and up and frantic. But again, that doesn't happen very often. Usually it's eyes open and brain is spinning. Hamster's running. Like a hamster on meth. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real quick, David, if you're still out there, man, Liz, the Iron Maiden, met a fellow Flat Earther in her town using the Flat Earth Friend Finder function on the Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. If you don't buy the one from Blue Water Bay, because there is another one out there, please don't send David a message telling him that his app sucks, because that's not him. It's run by the Flat Earth Society, and we all know who the Flat Earth Society are. I bet some of them work for J-Trig themselves. Yeah. Walt's brother was saying that we talk cryptic when we're speaking about stuff. And it's like, nah, if you...
yeah, we do.
If you're in the know... If you're in the know, we don't talk cryptic. We,
That's it. if you're in our club, we're talking to you. And that sucks sometimes because, dude, new folks show up and they're like, what is going on here? I could get it. I've come at it with new ears and thought the same thing. Speaking of, he's probably listening this morning. I got a text quite early. So, yeah, he texted me. I didn't even know until just a minute ago. So, good morning, my brother
Sorry,
and family.
Ain't been on the range lately, man. We've been
Yeah,
for
you've
the
been
festival.
missed. Yeah, you've been missed. We talk about you. You got us all set up and then abandoned us on the range. So anyway, but definitely that idea of us trying to be more like new folks are here sometimes is an idea. We've approached it and we try and we forget because you guys are family. We see you all the time and it's just like talking to family. And for those people that aren't in the family, it can be a little daunting when everybody knows the jokes and knows the secret code. And yeah, so we have to find a way to open it up sometimes. And we do. I mean, we do. We try to bring new things to it. But then there's always, oh, wow, vividness
The
and
nail on the head.
vividness. Hit it right. You got to talk cryptic because of nosy Uncle Algo rhythm. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky here, though, in the realm, because we pretty much get away with saying a lot. I mean, we can't play Smurf music,
apparently,
but we get to say whatever we want, pretty much, and yeah, it's nice. It really is, not to have to worry about that kind of stuff. These are where the cool kids hang out. Best flat earth talk show you've never heard of.
We do our best to keep it that way.
So yeah, I was thinking of getting a nap in after I took Jaron to school and went shopping, but I don't think that's going to be possible.
You're going to be a tired dude this weekend. Yep. But all the energy will keep you going. But at the end of it all, you'll just crash out probably for a day and sleep.
Are you going to do any live streaming, Zach, or not?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm like working while I'm there, you know?
That guy's on point, right? He's on. Did you dust off the iron stick just in case? Shout out, Adam.
It's in my closet. No, I wasn't even planning on taking it. Just I don't want to lose it.
Silly. I'm being silly. That's an artifact, right? That goes in the museum.
Yeah, live streaming. I've tried it, and it's hard when you're, it's like live streaming at work. There's always people coming up and talking and asking you questions and giving. It's not so much questions, it's ideas. Here's how you should test it. Here's how you should test this. Here's how you should test that. I'm going to bring a notepad and paper this time, though, for sure. I got it right here. I'm going to write down all these ideas because I can't remember them all. There's too many smart people at these things giving too many great ideas. So I'm just going to write down every idea. So if you come and see us and I don't have my notepad there, tell me, now you got to write this down so you don't forget. You got to remind me.
Speaking of other little flat earth shows that you've never heard of, this afternoon on one of those called Have No Sphere, we're going to have a guest.
Yes, we are. We're going to have
Mr. John Andrew Reed reached out to us. He is the author of Your Science Teacher is Wrong and How You Can Prove It. Great little read. I'm probably a little more than halfway through it. My bad for not getting there, but I'll probably wrap it up this afternoon between now and then because it is intriguing. It's definitely got a lot of the stuff we know, but just presented with a very great foundation of why the lie. I really like the way he presents it. So yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited.
I am too. I think it's going to be a really good conversation. He's got a really interesting background that I can't wait to talk to him about a little bit. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really interesting show.
Really interesting background. I think you undersold that, Josh. Really, like he can't tell us everything he knows background. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
He's probably under, non-disclosure agreements never to speak about them, and they're probably not going to be able to be spoken about till after he's dead.
Well, we probably have a second. Here, let me just read this. John Reed was born and raised in Seattle, where he studied the biological and physical sciences in college in preparation for a career as a professional scientist. After realizing the business side of science exercises undue influence over the practice of science, he chose to accept a commission from the U.S. Navy. In 2002, the Navy assigned him to investigative duties. This is where John found his professional calling. After completing his military obligation, John was hired by the U.S. Treasury Department, where he gained 8 years of investigative experience, and he affiliated with Naval Intelligence and the Reserves. His deployments include countering improvised explosive devices and director-level management in the intelligence field. He served for over 7 years as the head of security for all intelligence programs in the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet region. As a seasoned investigator and intelligence officer with a unique and deep understanding of the sciences, John Reed is uniquely qualified to address many of the issues plaguing the science profession and misleading the general public. Again, I'm excited.
Yeah, that's an awesome resume.
Hopefully,
Now,
Liz, we'll be starting very close to the beginning of time that we should, but you know us. We try to give it a minute or two to settle the dust. Anyway, it's cutting out here in a second. Love you guys. Thank you all.
Love y'all.
Love you guys. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Enjoy your Friday. Hopefully, we will see you right back here on the Iron Dome Media YouTube channel for Have No Sphere with author John Reed. So we'll see you for that discussion. In the meantime, be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.